with Roger Rosmus from Goliath Resources. Roger, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, Roger, let's start talking gold here. It seems like the last couple of years, every time I go to Beaver Creek, gold's pushing all-time highs. It's happening again. There's obviously tremendous geopolitical instability going on right now, uncertainty that is happening around the world. What's your view on what's happening with the price of gold right now?
Well, I like what's going on. I like the action. And obviously, with what's going on, as you said, I concur with the general state of affairs out there. And we could see possibly $3,700 gold here very shortly, or even $4,000 gold.
You think we'll see 4,000 this year?
The way things are going, possibly.
All right, well, let's turn the discussion to Goliath Resources. You guys just put out Assay results on Monday. What's the high level?
High level is we actually could have had probably 3 or 4 different press releases, because each hole that we hit actually had very mineable grades, mineable widths that maybe some folks didn't actually read past the first header, but the header hole was 5 meters of over 22.5 grams gold. That's gold only. That was just a multi-elements haven't been assessed as yet, but when those numbers are available, then we'll update all of the other 7 holes that we announced.
Now, you guys have a 100% hit rate, which is like unheard of in the junior mining world. What can you tell us in terms of footprint here? Are you guys planning on stepping out much further?
Yeah, well, the system still remains open laterally and at depth. It's still open laterally and at depth, and just the nature of the system, we've got these stacked veins, kind of like a layer cake, so to speak. And so we're able to hit multiple zones on the way down, ultimately basically providing us that ability to have a 100% hit rate, because there's so many veins that we can hit on the way through, and depending on where we're drilling from the top of the hill. Right now, the footprint is 1.2 kilometers of these stacked veins or shear zones, and then within that, it's the area is about 1.8 square kilometers, which is greater than the half size of Central Park in New York City. As of 2024, we had over 400 pierce points in the various loads, and then coming out of this season, a 60,000 meter drill program. We'll have about 115 holes, but we'll have multiple pierce points through the various loads as we drill through them. So we're going to have a very, let's call it a better understanding of the system as we get this data from 2025 drilling. Currently, it is close to 56,000 meters we've drilled. Our target is 60,000. So we should have everything wrapped up here in the next week and a bit. But the guys will be logging probably till at least till Halloween, end of October.
Now, we did a site visit, which is going to be on our channel shortly here. We worked pretty hard on that. And I know one of the themes that you talked about and your team talked about when we were there is that you really wanted to develop a single high-grade zone. Yes. To sort of show the general broad mining community that there's an area that you could start mining kind of immediately. Exactly. Once you prove that out. How has that been developing?
Yeah, it's been, the area is actually about a 300 by 300 meter area. It's on Bonanza 2 and Bonanza 3. Again, they're stacked above one another. With the idea we'll have, 25 to 50 meter spacings in there. And once we have all the assays up by, whenever we get everything, the hope is we can comfortably or back of the envelope suggest that there's a very high grade pod just in that one little, let's call it load or portion of the load. And with the idea, we're hoping that we can show kind of like maybe 1 million ounces would be kind of great, which would pay for CapEx in any mining scenario. One nice thing about the Bonanza various veins, they'd be outcropping near surface by about 75 meters. So you could just drive right into the side of the mountain and you're into this high grade low zone.
And just for our audience, I want to clarify this. That doesn't mean that the entire project is 1 million ounces. You're just looking for that one kind of sweet spot that sure. Perhaps might be attractive to some of the large mining investors or mining companies that sort of prove out a strategy.
Exactly. So, I mean, every senior miner is looking for that first 1 million ounces of high grade that's going to pay for CapEx out of the gates. And so this exercise we're doing is hoping we can actually prove that out. I don't know if it's going to be 1 million ounces, maybe it's 750,000 ounces. I don't know. It could be 1.5. We'll see.
So you guys also were doing a re-logging program earlier this year. Has that now been completed?
Yeah, the re-logging is completed. And for the most part, we had quite a few holes that did have some fairly high grades that, particularly in the calc silicate altered breccia zones, kind of the greeny looking rock. Doesn't look too fancy, but it's carrying quite a bit of gold in there. Like hole 280 that we announced, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago or 4 weeks ago now. But all the samples are at the labs, and our assays are still pending on a bunch of the relog.
Let's talk about next year's goals. I assume in this market with gold ripping and you being one of the, which by the way, the Northern Miner put out a piece with the top 20 drill results in the world, and you guys were on that list. Most of the Toronto or Canadian listed companies were the majors. There's a couple juniors who made it, and then the rest of the juniors that were on there were Australian listed, which breaks my heart to see that. So I assume that you're able to go raise whatever money you want to do the dream program you want to, but obviously you got to optimize that with the understanding that you only want to accept so much dilution. Correct. What are you thinking in terms of next year's program that you're willing to tell us?
Well, I think it's really going to be determined on what the rest of the assays look like coming out of the season. But right now we're kind of thinking about a 40 to 50,000 meter program again, similar to this year. We're doing 60. Would we do another 60? We'll see. We'll wait and see, right? But here at Beaver Creek, we've had a bunch of people already offering us money, but we don't need money right now. We'll finish the year with a very healthy balance sheet because we still own that McEwen mining stock, which at some point we're going to have to liquidate. And just on that note, we own 900,000 shares roughly of McEwen stock at $11.50 per share. Stock's trading, I think, now at about $19.50. So on paper, we have about a $9 million gain for the shareholders, like non-dilutive, which is pretty fantastic.
So let's talk about what we could say the remainder of the year is. If I'm watching this as a shareholder or I have you guys on my watch list, what am I looking for in terms of the news flow over the rest of the year?
Sure. Well, the idea is with the drilling from this year, I guess 60,000 meters up to, which I think we'll hit and possibly surpass, which represents roughly 115 holes. We've only announced 14. Guess what? There's like another 100 and change coming this way. Hopefully every couple of weeks we'll be able to get like a nice kind of a bit of a rhythm now with the season, with I guess just the cadence of what we're seeing at the other labs with the I guess the timing of what we've been sending into Terrace, and then I think we've kind of caught up now where we're at a point where a 2-week, hopefully every 2 to 3 weeks, we'll see news releases going probably into the new year, January, February.
All right, well, Roger, thanks for hopping on here. I appreciate you taking the time to do this and bringing us down to site, which again, you'll be able to check that video out on our channel soon. And let's continue to chat as we see these results. And I wish you guys a tremendous amount of success with the upcoming assays.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.